Hello and welcome to this review of Hervé Superior Reserve Premium Extra Smooth VSOP Brandy with natural flavors and caramel color. Well, at least they're letting you know they're adding color. A lot of whiskeys and brandy don't bother telling you that. The original Hervé did some trademark research. Apparently it was started in 2019. Introduced in 2019, bottled by the Founders Company, Louisville, Kentucky. Whoa. 40% alcohol, superior, 750 milliliters. You see this bottle, doesn't it look familiar? It does, doesn't it? Because Hartley Brandy is in the same bottle design. Barton VOB, Very Old Barton, is in this bottle design. Two-Star Bourbon is in this bottle design. And who makes all of those? You say County Line Distillers, the Founders Company. Yes, and that is they're all part of the Sazerac Company. Got this cognac glass here. I bought this bottle at a store on United States Highway 61 northbound in Prairieville, Louisiana. And the store, it used to be in a different location. It used to be on Louisiana Highway 73 southbound, but they moved it to a bigger facility, much bigger store, and it's called Hocus Pocus. They also have a location in Vinton, Louisiana, right before you get the last exit before the, the last exit before the Texas state line, Louisiana-Texas state line. And there's a third location, I think, in Alexandria, Louisiana. I could be wrong about the third location. I would like to go back to Hocus Pocus off of Interstate 10, just south of Interstate 10, before you get to Texas. And they position it right close to Texas, because on Sunday you cannot buy liquor in Texas, in that state, and so I bet they have a lot of vehicles in their parking lot on Sunday that say Texas. All right. Well, it's caramel. They use caramel color. It's caramel. If they didn't add the color, it'd probably be nearly clear. VSOP is supposed to be, see, that's a convention though. It's just a general understanding. It's not a law of brandy. VSOP is supposed to be aged 4 to 6 years. VS, the young, 2 to 4 years. VSOP, the second level, 4 to 6 years. And the XO generally is understood to be aged 6 to 10 years. But like I say, there's no legal constraint. Now, nice drips. Look at these alcohol eggs. It's like little balls dripping down like Christmas ornaments. Okay, so I don't know why Sazerac and their divisions like the Founders Company, County Line Distillers, Glenmore, Buffalo Trace, Barton 1792 Distillery, Sazerac Canada, White Rock Distilling in Maine wants to keep on coming out with a new thing about every year or two, but they do it. And so let's see, $8.99 at Hocus Pocus on special. I said, well, I don't really need any more liquor, but I couldn't resist for $8.99. I found a blended whiskey over there called Iron Wheel, American blended whiskey from Kentucky. Guess who? Yeah, you got it, Sazerac. I found one called Canadian Peak. Pretty good price. Canadian Peak, which supposedly I think has been on the market since 1961 or longer. Yep, yeah, they bought it. Sazerac bought it. So all three were great prices. So here we go. Well, I get white grapes, white grape skin, and something else. What's the natural flavoring? I don't know, but it seems like it might be cane sugar or caramel flavoring. But there's something. I do pick up some wood, some oak. Now, Hervé is the French word for Harvey. Harvey. Are they trying to make it sound like a French brandy? Yeah, probably. Now, if you get the Hartley, it's made with Italian. Now, it doesn't say Italian brandy. It says made with Italian brandy. Yes. This just says bottled by the Founders Company. Doesn't say produced by the Founders Company, however. Interesting label design. Kind of classic. Looks like something from the 1960s. And they had really nice bottle designs. Bottle by. Doesn't say produced by. So who's making it? I don't really know. They're not touting imported. So it's probably not coming from overseas. Interesting aroma. It's got a little sting to it in the nose. It's got a brandy aroma, sure, for sure. The Brent wine, the Dutch word, that's where brandy comes from. Brent wine. Brandy wine, they used to call it burnt wine. That's what it meant, burnt wine. The Battle of Brandywine Creek in the war against the British. What was it? 1812, the War of 1812, Brandywine Creek. All right, anyway, now they're dripping in a rather ragged way. This is the first video review for this brandy in the world. Couldn't find much information. A couple of liquor stores had it listed. Okay, that's all I can tell you. And Hervé means battle ready. Apparently, their old Middle Ages meaning was battle ready, ready for battle. This is what knights drink. All right. Well, it's definitely not just the old Hartley brandy in a different bottle or a different label. It's not D.W. Anders, which I haven't seen around lately, from them. I was in that squared off bottle. Okay, it's unique. Different. You get the distilled grapes, okay? It's pretty clean. Then they got the flavoring. It's natural flavors, so it's got to be something, well, natural. Which could be caramel. Caramel is simply sugar browned in a pan. The natural flavoring could be something as simple as cane sugar, just to give it a little sweetness, so it's not so dry. I don't know. Medium body, pretty short finish though. It doesn't linger. It doesn't even barely linger. It just, it's gone. It's gone, like hocus pocus. Like magic. Well, give it this. For about the cheapest price for brandy on the planet, $8.99 for the bottle. It's almost like a creme brulee nose on it, though. I gotta tell you, it's like that burnt sugar type thing. It's interesting. It's dry still in the finish, though. It's a dry. If you don't like dry wine, if you say, "Oh, I can't stand dry wine. I gotta have sweet wine," you're gonna hate it. I think you're gonna really hate it. Now, if you like dry wine and dry spirits, succinct spirits, This might work for you. This might work for you. I said medium body. It's light to medium. Actually, I'm going long because I'm trying to pin down that flavor. It's something. It's almost like they're adding like pulverized, like you can buy those pulverized pecans, you know, a bag of pecans, as some people say, pecans as some people say. I think most people say pecans. It's almost like they soak this with the pecans, or it could be walnuts pulverized, but you can get the bag of pulverized. It's almost like a powder, you know, pecans, and then they just filtered it out. That would be a natural flavor. Wouldn't shock me coming from Louisville. I mean, you know, Louisville, Kentucky would have access to something like that. But like I said, it only says bottle by. It does not say produced by. So it could be coming from look, Sazerac is owned by a man and his wife who live in New Orleans, Louisiana. And Louisiana and Texas have a lot of pecan trees, and you could just... And honestly, a lot of people around here, and maybe in Texas, grow inexpensive wine, their own muscadine wine. You say, oh, that's so cheap. And they bottle it and sell it along the highway without a license. You say, yeah, but there's no distillery in Louisiana that's producing that. There is a distillery in Louisiana, but I can't imagine that they would have the capacity to produce some. You say that this thing is low volume, you're not going to see it at too many liquor stores. But yeah, but it's probably at a volume that would still be too much for a company like that along Interstate 10 in West Louisiana to make it. I don't think it's coming from Louisiana. It could be from California. There's a lot of companies in California that produce really cut-rate brandy. So that would be my guess. Either California or New York. And now I'm starting to think that they're using golden raisins, as they call them, those yellow raisins, which is from the grapes. Like they might have said, man, we can't sell these raisins. There's something wrong. You know, they're like going off. In other words, they're rancid. Or becoming that. But you could distill it, and we'll make a deal, and we'll take care of it. And you want to add a little, like I say, soak it in the pecans to throw off that flavor. Age it for 4 to 6 years. I don't know how they're aging it for 4 to 6 years and selling it for $8.99. I think they're using that VSOP as just because there's no legal controls. I would hate to say that. I'm hoping that Sazerac is doing the right thing and giving us would be an average of a 5-year brandy. I just don't know. If I wrote to them and called them on the phone, they would talk about it, I think, and they would tell me where to find it, and it would be really nice. They're always nice. But they're not going to give the details like that. They're just going to say, well, we don't go into all of the processes, you know, what we do, you know, that kind of thing. So it's fine. For this price, you can't get too detailed in it. And you say your videos, I know. I don't expect too many people to watch this. But it's troubling because it tastes good. Like, you know, for $8.99, it should be like horrendous. It should be an atrocity. But it isn't. And I'm going to pour a little more. No, I better not. I was going to say for a review, but then I'm thinking it's not on distiller.com. It's not on Total Wine anymore. So where would I write the review? Nowhere, I guess. I'm really surprised. Now, I think this could really, truly compete with other brandies that I have. And I've got expensive ones, you know, relatively expensive, like Ciroc VS, you know, from France. And it probably really is 2 years. And at the most 4, but I wouldn't believe it. Could this defeat something like Ciroc, $31 a bottle? I think it could compete. And I've got the Saint-Remy XO. Well, I guess it couldn't compete against that. Corbel brand, California brandy. This could be some surprises. I think it could make some surprises. So yeah, the score. I didn't pour that. This is a small glass. It's nice to have a good shock, like where you buy something and it's much better than you would have expected. So I'm gonna give Sazerac credit. I mean, I don't know where you're getting this stuff from. It's pretty clear by just saying bottled in Louisville that it's not coming from Kentucky, and it doesn't really matter. It could be a blend. It could be New York brandy being blended with doggone California brandy. After all, Sazerac does own Paul Masson now, which is definitely New York brandy. Aged in Kentucky though, but Paul Masson. Okay, well, all right. There's a VSOP from there. I don't know. It's different though. But anyway, so this, I think I'm on the right trail though. I think I do believe I'm on the right trail. So anyway, score. Surprisingly, I'll give it about a 92. It's like an A-, but it's approaching most excellent. So just goes to show you, can you get something that's embarrassingly cheap and it not taste like dreck or horrendous, pitiful badness? Well, yes, I do believe you can. And Hervé is one of the examples. So keep up the good work, Sazerac, in your mysterious ways and your great prices. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all go to Louisville, Kentucky, and tour the Founders Company / County Line Distillers outfit. I don't think they give tours, but try to get in there, and it would be a fascinating visit. Thanks for watching this video production.